If right now you had to predict the top 4 for next season, starting with your champions all the way down to 4th place, what 4 teams fill those spots for you, Tony?
Well, Manchester City again, it's boring, but I just think that they are on a different level. Arsenal, at the moment, I can only see getting better. So it has to be Manchester City and it has to be Arsenal. I think Liverpool will have a summer like no other in their recent history.
Transfer-wise?
Well, the midfield completely,
for
me. And I think that they will change around playing personnel, and I think that we will see the best of players that have underperformed, and I expect a huge improvement from Jurgen Klopp's side, who look to be, finishing, don't they, with a flourish, but well short of what was expected of them if we started back in August. So I would probably put them in my top 4 as of next season, which then leaves me with one football club, and that 4th name I really don't know, because I don't know what's going to happen with Chelsea and the impact that their new manager has. I don't know what's going to happen with Newcastle, who I expect to be up there. I think with Brighton and De Zerbi, they'll be pushing for a top 6 place. Maybe the top 4 is in front of them. I think it's a hugely difficult 4th place to predict. So I'm going to say Manchester City, Arsenal in 2nd place, and I'm going to be predictable and say Manchester United 3rd and Liverpool 4th.
I will go for next season Manchester City. I do very much agree with you on Liverpool coming strong again. I either put Liverpool or Manchester United 2nd next season. Okay. I think
so
the job.
We agree on the same top 4 then, don't we?
No, I don't know if we do agree on the same top 4.
Man City, your top 4.
Man
Liverpool,
City,
Man United, and Arsenal.
No. Man City. If I had to go with it now, I'm going to go Man City.
Yes.
I'm going to go Man United. Yeah. No, it's going to have to be Liverpool then, yeah.
So it's the same top 4.
I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal didn't even get top 4 next season. I know that's a rogue shout, but I don't know. Look, they've got so many talented young players. It's so hard to back against them. And unfortunately, really, what's happening here is as I'm talking to you about this, it's dawning on me that Chelsea just aren't getting in the top 4 next season, are we? There's no chance of it. Now we're sitting talking like that. Liverpool are going to come again. Man City are never going to finish outside the top 4 for as long as I'm alive, probably now, the amount of wealth they've got. Man United, could it fall apart there under Ten Hag? I really doubt it. I don't think so. I think they're going to keep improving. It's a hard one. It's a really, really hard one.
What interests me is who are going to be 5th and 6th, because you talk about your club, Chelsea, can't get in the top 4 in the summer. Yeah. Let's just say they get it right and start well next season.
We can disregard Brighton.
Newcastle.
You can disregard Brighton. Brighton won't get in the top 6 next season.
Why is that?
I just can't see it happening. I just can't see it happening. I don't think that Brighton are getting in the top 6 next season. I get that the league's becoming more competitive. I do think De Zerbi's a very, very good manager. Also, Graham Potter was a very good manager there. Sometimes it's more to do with the club. I'm not taking anything away from De Zerbi, but I'm saying the club have given him a platform to be able to show his managerial quality by having maybe harmony behind the scenes that, say, for example, Graham Potter didn't have the luxury of having when he went into Chelsea. I just don't think they'll be there. So if I had to go top 6... I would have Newcastle and Chelsea as my other 2. I'd have Spurs slipping down. I think Spurs are going to really slip away. I think Spurs could finish around 10th. I just hate the fact that I can't put Chelsea in the top 4 next season. But when you put it like that, but the odds would suggest, if we look back at Premier League history, the odds would suggest that one of City, United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and I don't even know if I really want to include Spurs, but say those 5 teams, right? History would suggest one of them at least is going to have an off-season. If you look at this season, Chelsea have had, I wouldn't even call it an off-season, we nearly got relegated. Liverpool have had an off-season, obviously they finished all right. Tottenham, I believe, have had a bit of an off-season. Absolutely. So when you're saying 50% of them usually have off-seasons, who's to say that Man United won't combust next season and have an off-season? It's so hard to predict, and this is why you don't like these hypothetical questions, but do you know what? Chelsea's finished 4th. I'm going Man City. I don't think Arsenal finish 2nd, I really don't. I don't think Arsenal finish 2nd next season. I even think, as an Arsenal fan, as much as they wouldn't admit it, they should be happy with a top 4 finish next season. I don't think they'll come again and compete for the title the way they have this season. They have been fortunate in spells. They have been the best team in the league, in my opinion. Let me put that on record there. Arsenal have been the best team in the league. And I'll also put on record, before everyone comes for me in the comments, Chelsea have been the worst team in the league. Now, Southampton might finish bottom, but I predicted Southampton to go down. After the 2-2 draw with Tottenham, I was saying about Chelsea after that performance we put in.
Most predicted that Southampton weren't
exactly.
good.
So I'd say pound for pound, Arsenal have been the best team in the league. You know, I'd say Chelsea have been the worst team in the league, but I don't see Arsenal coming again next season and sustaining a title challenge.
So the same players stay.
Yep.
You look at a captain like Martin Odegaard, who's 23, 24, came from Real
24.
Madrid, and you look at how he's developed under Arteta.
Yep.
You look, for example, let's look at Ben White, and how he can play in a different role. Yes?
Yep.
And how, again, he's developed.
Yep.
Ramsdale, Jesus. I'll go through that team, Saka. I just see a team that's getting better. Why are they going to drop away next season, Joey?
You just named 5 names there.
Just
yeah.
to
You
start with
five off the top of your head. You could have gone on.
We can keep going.
You could have gone
we
on.
Can keep going.
You could have gone on.
Salah.
Now, have I asked you to go through the most important players, right? I do believe you'd name 5 names before you got to Jesus. That's just my opinion. You might not. But I do believe that most Arsenal fans could name 5 names in terms of most important players before they get to Jesus. Their only notable, sustained injury this season so far has been Jesus, hasn't it? Yeah, they've had players out for a little bit. They've had Partey miss a few games. They it looks like they might have Saliba out for a few games now. But they haven't had any real sustained injuries. Now, we've had the best part of 2 years with Reece James and Ben Chilwell pulling up with hamstrings and whatnot every time they run up the wing. We've had Kante has hardly played a minute. I know he's back in the team now, but he's hardly played a minute for 2 years since that Champions League final. Chelsea have had real bad injuries, bad luck. Liverpool have had bad injuries and bad luck this season. I'm just saying, I know you can't prepare for these sort of things, but I'm just saying I do think that Arsenal have been fortunate to have the rub of the green this season when it comes to injuries. I'm not going to go into the whole, certain decisions with VAR. I also think, it's like a boxer, right? There's only so many times you can go to the well. And I understand that I'm contradicting myself a little bit here with the fact that they've got a young squad. But these late 3-3 draws, 3-2 wins, they can't just be pulling them out the bag all of the time. They can't just be doing that all of the time. I just think that it might catch up with them. I think they'll have a good season. I think they might have a Champions League run. They definitely won't win it. But I don't think they'll compete for the league seriously next season. And what I mean by that is I don't think that we'll be sat here with 3 games to go next season speaking about Arsenal for the league title. I think, it's obviously Man City we're going to be speaking about. I think the highest probability and possibility that we're speaking about in terms of other teams are Manchester United and Liverpool next season.
But the biggest surprise for many will be that you put Chelsea in the top 4 next season.
I can't not put them in there, can I? Well, yeah, Chelsea will probably win it next season.